Hello everyone, this is Wartravellar from Phoenix Rising. I'm coming today with a couple more add-ons. Tonight we're going to talk about Bartender 4 and TellMeWhenee. Okay, now if you want to know how to get these, we do them just like we do all of our other add-ons for the in-game portion of it. And we go to Curse Client. Okay, so tab, oops, not that one. So here we go. Okay, let's get this thing going. And as you can see, my internet's a little slow, but that's okay. So first thing we're going to do is I'm going to go right back to the main page. Here we are, main page. Okay, so what we do is we're going to look up Bartender first. Okay. It's called Bartender 4. Should be one here because I have it in my game. And here we go, Bartender 4. Okay, you just basically need that one. We click on it and we install it via the Curse client. Now, if you want to do the other one too right now, you can. The other one is, let's go back to WoW add-ons. Yeah, come on. I don't want that. We can just go right to here. Okay, we're going to erase that. It's called TellMeWhenee. And we search it. And there it is. There's TellMeWhenee right there. So your page should look like this. It looks something like this, and you install it through the via Curse client. Okay, so that's how we install the two add-ons, or pretty much all the add-ons. We come here to Curse client for the game. Okay, so let's go back into the game. And as you know, you would have to restart your game when you add a new add-on to make it actually work in your game. So what you do is, restart your game. So we're going to talk about Bartender 4 first. And there's a couple ways to actually get it. But what it does is it replaces the original bars that you have. Okay. Now, we can go /BT and boom. Here's the UI for it, so you can do all your changes. Okay. Now, here's what it'll do for you. You can go through and you can change different things. Do you want to use the Blizzard vehicle UI? Some of this other stuff is on here. But here is the one. Now I'm going to show you what the bars look like. So you come up here to your map and you look for the Bartender 4, which looks like a beer mug. Okay, you left click it. This will show you what bars you have up. Okay, so now if you notice, I have bar 1, bar 3, bar 4, bar 5, and bar 6. You can have up to 10 different bars. Okay, and I'll show you that in a minute. But they pretty much all function the same way for how you modify them. Okay, not really hard. Okay, so all these, whenever this stuff is green, whatever's green, when you have this little window open right here that says Bartender 4, then you know that you can move it. See, I can move my zone ability. I can move my extra action bar. Move that over here wherever I want it. My vehicle bar, now that can be down here, if I want. The zone ability is there. My bags are over here, that can be moved. Okay, so that's how you move the bars once you got them set up the way you want. Now, one thing about Bartender is it does not fill in any bars except for the first bar. So like all the other bars, if you don't have anything in them already through the Blizzard one, you have to manually put them in yourself, which is not that hard because it's just drag and drop like you do for everything else, okay? So I'm going to go up to the beer mug. You can left click it again and it locks everything in place. So now none of these can be moved, okay? So let's go into settings now. I'm going to right click it this time. Now some of the stuff you can do, if you go into the bars, okay? Now, what I wanted to know is, I have this set up different for almost every character, so it's not per account, it's per character. But like right here, how many buttons do I want in it? I want 12. That would be basically 1 through the equal sign. Okay. How many rows do I want? Well, typically you would want 1 row. Okay. So that's how you get the ones going across. If you want to have 12 buttons for the 3 and the 4 that I had over here, that would be, if I go here to 3, now I have 12 rows with 12 buttons. Okay? And that's how you change it. The scaling will make them bigger and smaller. Okay, so if I come up here and I go left click, and we'll go to my bar 1, I should be able to change that one back. But see, I'm going to go like this, scaling, boom, really big or really small. That's your preference. Okay, there you go. I got it back to where I wanted it. But that's how you do it. That's how you do that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and lock this back. Anyway, other things you can do with it is, do you want a reputation bar? If you're tracking reputation for a certain faction, you can have that, which I'll show you right now. If I enabled it, all your bars like this are going to start right here. Your artifact 1, or your XP 1, or your reputation will all start right here. And you just drag them to where you want them. I usually put mine on top. And then see if I come down here and I click on artifact. Well, let's go ahead and put the artifact one in. Okay, so I know how much artifact power I need for the next thing. So put that one there. XP. Same thing. See, it comes up right here. It shows it as XP. Okay? So, that's how you work with that. That's how you do it. Okay? Now you notice I have keybinds. I think I'm using the Blizzard keybinds for a lot of my stuff. Could be wrong. And if you have any questions on it, I might be able to look that up. But I do it because I use a 6-button mouse. So I've got mine set up a little bit weird, but it works for me. The other thing you can do is come over here, and this is the Blizzard art. Do you want the Blizzard art? No, you really don't want it because you're using custom stuff if you're doing it like this. But this is how you hide the Blizzard art. Just like that. Uncheck that one, okay? So this is pretty much Bartender 4 for your buttons and layout of them. Now the next one I'm going to tell you about is TellMeWhenee. Okay, so we're going to start with TellMeWhenee. So I'm going to go here, /TellMeWhenee, which is /TMW is one way to do it. Okay, so I've already got a couple of them set up. But what we're going to do is we're going to make a new one. And I'm going to show you how they kind of work. Okay, so what I can do here is I'm going to come down here to any of the ones that are up. Most of the time you'll have one that looks like this. It'll be just a blank bar. Okay. So if I come into any of these boxes, just click one. If it's blank, you're going to start off fresh. But if you need to add another group because you wanted to do something different, I can come over here and I can go to group. Okay. And all you really have to do is new profile group. You click that. Okay. And as you will see, here's the new profile group. Now, some of the stuff you can do with the profile group. Okay, I want 2 rows or 2 rows. See, now I got 2 rows. You know, I can bring them down where I don't have so many. So now I got still four boxes, but they're just a different layout. Okay, so you can actually do that. Then let's say you don't need the group anymore. Well, we're going to just delete that group. Okay, we just deleted it. Didn't need it. Okay, now we can go back. So, how do you set something up? Go here. Now we click on a box. And these are ones that I just did, so what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how you do them. So I'll go ahead and we'll leave it there. Just so you can see that they work. So what I'll do is I'll click on this one. I need to know what I'm tracking. Am I tracking a spell cooldown? Am I going to track an item cooldown? The unit cooldown one is for like PvP. You want to track other people's trinkets, so you know that they use their trinkets, certain spells, whatever. Internal cooldowns, I don't know if anybody uses it anymore. Usually when you use an item cooldown, it's going to tell you when it comes off cooldown the way I do it, okay? Your reactive ability, that's like an execute, looks like conflagrate is one, stuff like that. They have to be a certain percentage to be able to be used. Next one, buffs and debuffs. So most of the ones you're going to be using, it would be like a spell cooldown, item cooldown, and buff and debuff. Okay, that's the ones we're going to be using the most, unless you're doing PvP. It might be a few other things that you're going to be using. Maybe like, right here, not totems, but you might have a combat event, you know, if you lost control, or anything like that. Okay, so now, what are we going to do? Well, I'll show you my metamorphosis one. This is one I had from earlier, and I'm going to show you how to set that one up, and I'm going to show you how to set up a trinket, because some people like to watch their trinkets. Okay, so what I do is I want to know the spell cooldown. So we're going to go like this. Now the easiest thing you can do is go to your book, and you'll look up metamorphosis. That's what I'm going to use. All you got to do is just drag it over. Okay? So now, what this does right here, opacity and color. If I have, whenever I have it set up to where whenever it's ready, it'll show me the icon. When it's not ready, it hides the icon. You can actually have this where it's an opacity when it's still on cooldown. Okay. The other thing I like to do is I come over here to called timer sweep, and I always show timer, and I show the text. I don't worry about anything else on here. Okay. Everything else is pretty much I just leave it alone and stuff. Now you can set it where it has stack requirements if you're maybe a rogue or something, or a druid, and you really need to keep track of how many stacks. You know, it's going to take like 5 stacks. Then you can trigger this. It might work for something like that, but I don't. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go like this. We're going to close that window since I'm not going to use that one now. I'm going to go to this one. Okay. This one I'm going to do my item cooldown. Okay, so I'm going to click that. It sees the question mark because it doesn't know what it is yet. I just found this out. You can actually take your character, same thing, drag and drop in the bar, and boom, this is the item number of that trinket, okay, which it shows right there. And again, we're going to show it where it's got an opacity, so you see that I'm actually doing this, and you go like this. Now we click OK. Now it'll stay like this until you go into combat. Okay, so one of the things you can do, and I forgot to show you this, is you can go to group, and you don't have to do it for all your groups. You can do it for any groups you want, but when you're in the group section right here, I leave it on icon. Now, do you want it to only show when you're in combat, or is it something you need to see when you're out of combat? You can have it show that. You can have it show for your different specs, stuff like that. Okay. This, like I said, this is where you do your customization for your dimensions, how many rows you want, how many columns you want, and that's pretty much most of what I just mess with. Or like I said, here at the bottom, if you want to delete the group, I don't mess with the rest of the settings because I really don't need to. Another thing you can do, just to show you a quick thing, is if you're running multiple specs, if you use a semicolon after the spell, space it, you can put another spell there for your other spec, as long as it is the same type of spell or cooldown or whatever you're tracking. Okay? So now, get out of that. Now you can just get into combat, and this will close. So watch, we'll show that. Oh. Okay, so now they're there because that's where I wanted them. Now we're gonna go ahead and do one. When the icons are showing, that means that they're available to you. Okay, so we're gonna do this. Boom. Now, as you can see, the one on the left is the one I had set before, so that I know if it's not showing, it's not available. But if you really want to see it, I know what the cooldown is on it. Okay? Now we're going to do my trinket. There goes my trinket. Now, as you can see, we're going. I may have not set the text on it for it to show the cooldown on it, but it's going. Alright. So now we know how to do them. Okay? If you have any questions on Tell Me When or Bartender, do not hesitate to ask. There's me, there's Silent, and stuff like that. But do not hesitate to ask, because I'm here to help with our guild, to help get more loot from these raids and stuff like that, or from anything we're doing and stuff like this. So this is Wartravellar. This is just one of my alts. But this is an easy way to show you how the stuff works. And as you can see, nothing's available. Boom. They actually close. Oh, because I'm out of combat. I'm not in combat anymore, so they're hiding. Okay. And then what you do is, if we wait just a little bit, I'll wait for my trinket to come off cooldown before I just close this video out. So you guys can see that the the trinket will pop back up and let you know that it's available. And you can do that with any spells. You can also track boss debuffs on you or somebody else. And that's one thing I will show you guys right fast. The boss ones are harder to do because now see if I go in combat. Now see, it popped up because I'm in combat now. Okay, you get out of combat. Okay, if you want to track something other than yourself, let me get into that right fast. Tell me when. Okay, if you're wanting to get into here, you come in here. It's usually on a usually what you're going to be tracking is buffs and debuffs. Okay, make sure it's a buff or debuff. Okay, but what you want to do is you can come over here and you can erase player. Okay, so if you erase the player, now you get a list of what you can track. Is it your target? The target of target? Your focus target. Pets, vehicles, the boss. That might be a good one for Odin if you're trying to track down his stacks, so you know when to taunt off the other tank. Or if you're keeping track of how many stacks the other tank has. Like I said, there's main tank, there's main assist. Different ways to track different people, but it's all the same. Once you put them in there, and like I said, if you don't know, okay, like you can put it down like, okay, main tank and your focus. You're tracking those two, okay, for that one spell. Well, your main tank, if you're the off tank, it could be somebody in your raid who they're tanking, but you can put them on focus because you need to taunt off of them or something like that. You could do something like that, okay? So that's how we do that. That's pretty much it. Now, when you do put a spell in here, if you type it out, there will be a list on the side that you can just pick one. Okay, and it should be pretty close. If it's not the exact one, I mean, you're looking for the icon, but if, like trinkets and stuff like that, if you're looking for the effect that they do, that gets a little bit harder. But if you can't find it on the list, you can always go to Wowhead, and you can pull it up from there, and just bring over the number and type it in where this spell would be, and you're done. Okay? So I believe that's everything now. I showed a couple different things for it. Like I said, if you have any questions or anything like that, don't hesitate to ask, and I will answer them as best I can. If I can't find, answer it right off the bat, I will get you the information so I can get it to you as quickly as possible. Alright, everybody at Phoenix Rising, thank you for your time. Thank you for enjoying the game with us, and I will see you later.